Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Positivity Push with my guest, Tinisha Wharton. I'm so excited. Thanks for joining us this morning. Y'all know what to do. Go ahead and share this broadcast. I hope you're waking up and winning with us this morning. So thank you guys for joining us. We've got a great show ahead. We're just getting things set up and ready to go. So hope you guys have had a great first week of November. And is it broadcasting for you? Is it? Okay, cool. All right, cool. So good morning to everyone. Join us. There we go. Share. Okay, cool. So good morning again to everybody. Hope you guys are having a great morning. And excuse me. Yeah, so we shared. We're ready to go. Tinisha, how you feeling this morning?
Oh, good.
Yeah? Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited that my friend is joining me this morning. She's got a great story. I'm telling you, this show is going to be a show of empowerment, of inspiring. This show is going to be, again, a show that's really going to help you get through some of the darkest times of your life. And we're excited to help you push your way into positivity. So, good morning to everybody. I see y'all coming on. We thank you guys for coming on. Y'all know what to do. Share this broadcast, The Positivity Push, live here on 103.5. We're about to start this thing. So y'all comment and like all that stuff. Y'all know what to do. So we're going to go ahead and get ready and get started here soon. Tell us how you're feeling this morning. Show us some love. I got Tinisha Wharton. For those that are just coming on, Tinisha Wharton is my guest this morning, and I'm super excited she is on. Have you ever been on the radio?
No.
You haven't?
I have not.
Okay, so we got good morning, Brenda, my mother. Thank you for joining me, Mom. I appreciate you for joining me as well. Good morning. So yeah, y'all, I mean, we're excited. It's going to be a good show. Y'all share this broadcast. Do hashtag shared. If you share this broadcast, let us know that you're pushing out the positive vibes this morning. All right? So push out the positive vibes. We're about to get this show started. Meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and plug this. I got a book, y'all. I have a 40-day devotional. So go ahead and pick up this book. It's on my website, thepositivitypush.com, my personal website, or on Amazon, Catapult. I'm really excited about this. So y'all pick up this book. It's great. I'll be plugging that again later as well. So we're going to go ahead and get ready and get started. Thank you for sharing. Good morning, Angela. Also, tell us where you're viewing from as well. As we go throughout the show, comment and question my guests throughout the show as well. That is the intro. So let's get ready. Good morning. Welcome to your winning weekend wake-up call. This is The Positivity Push with Antonio Santoro, live here on 103.5 FM WCOM, Chapel Hill and Carborough's Community Radio. Are you ready to feel encouraged, inspired, and empowered? Well, you're at the right place. This is The Positivity Push, live on 103.5 FM WCOM, live here in Chapel Hill and Carborough. And sit back and relax and be positive this next hour. We've got a great show ahead with my guest, Tinisha Wharton. I'm super excited that my friend's in the studio with me this morning. So y'all, sit back, relax. You can join us on The Positivity Push Facebook page and join us in the studio. So we will be right back after this next song, I Made It by Fantasia. All right, we're good. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. What's going on, y'all? So thank you guys for joining us this morning on the Positivity Push. I hope you guys are doing well. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Christina, Crystal, we got some other people on joining us. If you've not shared this broadcast, what you waiting on? Go ahead and click share. I think there's a share somewhere on there. Thank you, #shared Angela. Appreciate you for joining us this morning. For those that are jumping on, my guest Tinisha Wharton is in the studio. How you feeling?
I feel good.
Yeah, I'm feeling good I'm super excited that you're here. We've got a great show ahead. I'm telling you, this woman right here, she's full of great wisdom. I really love this woman right here. I'm telling you, she is full of great it's the quiet people you gotta worry about. She is an observer, if nothing else. She watches and she takes it all in, and that's one thing I love about her. And good morning, and then she shares when she's asked. I think she's one of these people, or correct me if I'm wrong, but she definitely is. She speaks when she's asked, and again, like, she's got a voice. Like, she speaks up, she advocates, and she definitely stands in her truth, and I love that. Thank you, Christina, for sharing. And I'm really excited that she's on. This is a long time coming. So she's got a great story, and some great victories. I mean, this song right here, I Made It, Fantasia and Ty Tribbett, like, love this song. And I think it's an anthem for many of us who have pushed through the trials of life, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we all have those trials, and it only makes us better. Good morning, Paul. Thank you for joining me. Paul, aren't you in Chattanooga? Thank you for joining me from Chattanooga, Tennessee. College friend of mine. All right. If you've not shared this broadcast, go ahead and do that as well. Feel free to comment, question throughout the show. We'll give you a shout out over the airwaves and make sure that you, get your limelight and spotlight as well. So we're going to talk today about, getting through pushing through the fires and the trials of life, right? Again, we, and I'll probably say this over the airwaves as well, but they say, thank you for sharing, Annie. They say, if it's too hot in the kitchen, get out, right? But what if the kitchen holds the lessons? What if the kitchen holds everything you need to learn about that situation, that experience, right? And that's something that we often do. We get out of the kitchen way too quick, right? And we miss the lesson behind the trials, right? So yeah, I'm excited to talk about that. Thank you guys again for joining in. I appreciate you for joining us. It's a good morning, y'all. It's a good morning. Despite how crazy this week has been. Y'all know this week has been bonkers. If you look just watch the news. So I'm glad y'all are taking this moment because we always need moments like this just to smile. Have you smiled this morning? I don't know if you brushed your teeth or not, and that's okay if you haven't. But just smile. It feels good to just smile. And after all that we have been through this week as a nation, we need to smile. Oh, I thought the song was over. Yeah, we're going to wrap up with this song. Okay. All right, so good morning, Sparkle. Yeah, Angela. Yes, so true. Y'all share this broadcast if you haven't already. Click share, push the positive vibes. It's going to be a good show. Love this song. I Made It by Fantasia and Ty Tribbett. I'm telling you, that is a good wake up and winning type of song. I love that song because, again, we have made it. We've made it through another week. We've made it through another night. We're alive and well. We've got breath in our lungs, activity of our limbs, a sound mind. So why not be pushed into positivity? Why not live the positive life that you're called to live? Why not live in the abundant life that we are called to live. So yeah, wake up and win with us. You're listening to the Positivity Push live on 103.5. I want to welcome all the listeners and viewers of this show this morning over 103.5 over the airwaves for your dose of positivity. And I want to thank you for joining us in the studio. That's right, I said in the studio on Facebook Live. You can go to Facebook, type in The Positivity Push. You're going to see this multi-million-dollar face, and you just click like. You can like the page, and you can tune in to the show with myself and my guests every week. And while you're at it, visit my website, thepositivitypush.com. Thepositivitypush.com for a little bit more information about the show, about your host, and about all of the social media platforms as well. If this is your first time tuning in, again, I want to welcome you to the most positive place on the planet, located in the corner of Chapel Hill and Carborough, North Carolina. This is your feel-good fix for the week, and this show and movement is to inspire, encourage, and empower you through various interviews and uplifting music. So thank you again for starting your weekend off with me. So listen, y'all, I'm jumping in. I'm excited about this morning. This is going to be a great show. We've already got people on Facebook Live just giving us comments, giving us love. Appreciate you all for joining us. But the Positivity Push wants to welcome a woman of great strength. She is a fellow millennial, my sister from another mister that is making a difference with her skills and her story. She's an incredible teacher, and she exudes loyalty through her actions of gratitude and love. She is so gifted in many ways that many don't even know, and she's a friend to many, and my guest leads with, again, such strength and grace. I was mentioning even during the song, like she is. You got to be careful with the people that don't that would rather listen than speak so much. The quiet ones, right? And she's one of them. But we're going to talk a little bit about how she's stepping out this year, and I'm super excited about that. But she's one of those people. She's a strong, graceful woman, and I'm so grateful she's on. It's going to be an incredible show as we talk about her triumphant story and pushing you into positivity, and how we can overcome through her story. And I'm grateful for her presence this morning. I want to welcome my friend and my sister, Tinisha Wharton. Tinisha, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm so excited you're on.
I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah. Is it a little early for? I mean, you're a teacher. You wake up super early anyway.
Yes.
Like you're in the education.
I'm ready.
Yeah, like this is probably like noon for her.
Right.
Like she's up, she's ready to go. So we're pushing you into positivity this morning over the airwaves. Super excited that she's on. But listen, we, again, talking about how we can get through life's challenges and pushing you into positivity. And I'm super excited about this next song, Scars to Your Beautiful by Alicia Cara. This is a great song to set up this show. And so sit back, relax, and be positive this next hour. We're going to jump in with my guest, Tinisha, right after this song, Scars to Your Beautiful. Alrighty. So, thank y'all again for joining us. How are y'all feeling this morning? Tell us a little bit how you're feeling. If you've not shared this broadcast, if you're just joining us, welcome to the Positivity Push. And my guest, Tinisha Wharton, is in the house this morning. Y'all comment, show us some love. How about this? Y'all tell us one thing you've pushed through this week. What's one thing you've pushed through this week? Go ahead and type it. I have pushed through a new position. I haven't really shared that much, and I can't share too much. But I was given a new position, a new opportunity. Yeah, thank you very much. It's a growing opportunity. That's all I'm saying. It's growing, and sometimes when you grow, you get the growing pains.
Yes. Absolutely.
And it's that kind of feeling right now. So I'm just like, I'm being stretched. I'm really grateful for it. So I'm being pushed through that. And so I want to know, what have you all pushed through just this week? Again, you can watch the news and a lot of stuff is happening, but personally, what's going on in your life? Tell us how you're pushing through into your positive life. Tanisha, what have you pushed through this week?
Kind of similar.
Mm-hmm.
The behavior interventionist piece was just added to my title.
Okay.
As well as being over our school's MTSS process.
Yeah.
On top of what I'm already doing as a math facilitator.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, and it's a growing it's just a growing opportunity, right? And so for those that don't know, and we're going to talk a little bit more of the airwaves, she's been in education for 10 years, right?
Yes.
So she's been in education for 10 years, very, very esteemed in her knowledge as well. She has educational leadership background as well, so she's very familiar with the leadership aspect, and she's growing in that as a math facilitator. But yet, as you grow in leadership, we know you wear different hats.
Yes.
And she's been given some additional hats. Thank you all again. And again, she's a powerhouse in that. Yeah, you're welcome. And so what she was mentioning, the NTSS process. For those that don't know, that is like an intervention. Talk a little bit about that. Tell
So
what
basically, it's a process where teachers and staff can kind of intervene on children who are struggling either in reading and math, or there's some behavior challenges. It's a way for us to intervene before we try to identify the kid through the exceptional need process. And working in the district that I work in Durham, we've got quite a few challenges. So the list of kids are growing. So on top of trying to work with the behavior piece or the behavior students, I'm also working with the math content. So those who are struggling with math, in addition to working with teachers to make sure that they're doing so. It's a lot.
And let me tell you, sometimes working with adults is a little bit more challenging.
It's a lot more stressful than the children. Sometimes I'm like, do you want to go back in the class?
Right.
This is a lot.
Yeah, working with adults. Some of y'all know, if you work in the corporate, whatever, out of education, you know working with adults can be just as challenging, if not more.
Yes.
All right, let's jump back into this. Share this broadcast, y'all. And that was Scars to Your Beautiful by Alicia Cara. That is a great song to set up this morning's show. Again, this is The Positivity Push on 103.5 FM WCOM. And I've got my guest in here, Tinisha Wharton. I want to thank everybody, by the way, that's watching on Facebook Live. If you're listening over the airwaves, you can join us in the studio on Facebook Live, The Positivity Push. You can join us in the studio. My guest is Tinisha Wharton. I'm telling you, she is a great friend and a sister, and I've known her for about 4 years as we've ministered at the same ministry, the River Church in Durham. We've been there for each other in many times, and she's inspired me greatly with how she's pushed through in life. I love watching her grow in life, and I've seen such growth even in just the short time that I've known her. And I marvel at just her continued perseverance in life, and she won't let anything stop her. And again, I'm just really just blown away by the growth of this woman, and I'm super excited that she is on. So again, thank you, Tinisha, for being on. Yeah, you're welcome. So I'm telling you, we were talking a little bit. For those that don't know, usually I give like a bio or like a formal introduction, but tell us a little bit about, your background, Tinisha. We were talking during that previous song, just kind of your background in education. Tell us a little bit about where you're from.
Okay, so I'm from Greensboro, North Carolina, and I have, I'm in education, and I've been in education for about 10 years. I recently completed my master's in school administration, so my next step is principalship. Right now, I am a math facilitator at one of the local elementary schools in Durham, and I'm also pursuing my doctorate.
All right, come on, y'all. See, this is what I'm talking about. She is just growth. When I tell you growth, like I was talking about this with somebody earlier this week, just about just living that standard mediocre life. Like some people, they're okay with that. But if you're an active viewer of the Positivity Push, we're really pushing you to something greater, right? And what I love is that, to get a master's degree is a huge accomplishment anyway. But this one right here, she's like, no, let's go for the doctorate. And that's incredible. Doctorate in?
Education with, my concentration will be curriculum and teaching.
Okay, awesome. Very cool, very cool. What do you want to do? What's the impact you want to have with being Dr. Wharton?
The biggest thing for me is to get into the universities and kind of reconfigure this whole teacher education program, because just in what I do, I don't think that they're accurately preparing teachers for teaching.
Sure.
You know, you get theory, but you're not getting that practical piece.
Yeah.
And teachers are coming out and they're very frustrated because they don't have strategies.
That's really good.
They're just, and we're teachers are leaving the profession left and right. Like good teachers that could be poured into and be fabulous, they're leaving.
Wow. Yeah. And that's incredible. So, and one thing that I always hold true is we find our success by being a solution, you know, and what you have just done, and she's just shared, and we're totally off topic, but not really. She identified a problem, right? So a problem or an issue is that teachers are leaving. Why is that? They're feeling frustrated. Why is that? You know, they may not be adequately equipped, right? So what is she doing? She's becoming a solution. And because of that, you are successful, right? So you becoming a solution to someone's problem breeds success, and I think that's awesome. That's really, really cool. So y'all already know she's like thebomb.com up in this studio this morning. She's very, like I mentioned, esteemed and continuing to grow, and super excited that I can call her a friend. So I'm grateful. So I was sharing this during the previous song. Have you ever heard the quote, "If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen"? Well, how about it's the kitchen that has the concepts you need to learn? How about it's the kitchen that holds the lessons for your life? And I don't want you to miss the lessons this morning on the Positivity Push, and the lessons of life because of the heat, right? We automatically feel heat, we feel pressure, and we get a little freaked out. We're like, let me get out of this kitchen. And today we're talking about staying in the kitchen and pushing through the fires of life, because guess what? They're going to come. They're going to come. The fires of life will come. And today, my guest has been through fires and coming out as pure gold. She's living her best life, and we're going to jump in. But one thing I love, so with every guest, we have a pre-program call. And during our pre-program call last evening, she shared, I was like, you know, because as I mentioned, she's an introvert. Like she's an observer. Yes. She loves that. And that's where she learns the most. And I was like, okay, are you feeling good? You know, because I know how you are. And she was like, yeah, but you know, like 2018, she's really charging herself to step out more. Like she's, you know, ministered, and she's, you know, really pushed herself to the limit. And now here she is on radio, you know. Talk a little bit about stepping out of the comfort zone this year.
Doing the same thing gets the same results, right? And I'm all about growing. And I just, it was just time. It was time. I know my purpose. I know why I'm here, and I can't do that in the background. I can't do that always being the observer, always being quiet. So it was just time for me to say yes. And move forward. And I continue to say yes. Right.
And then again, we always talk about how, you know, purpose is on the other side of fear, and how we allow fear to stifle us so many times. And I love that. I thought that was really, really powerful. Again, stepping out, and that's what I'm talking about. Her growth and her courage and her faith, you know, to step out. It's awesome. So wanted to make that point, and I wanted to encourage you all that are watching and those that are listening. 2018 is not over, all right? And, you know, this is your opportunity to really emerge. Like this is really your opportunity to step out and to be the greatest you that you can be. Whatever that is, just push yourself to the limit. Never did I think that I would come out with a book this year. Never did I think that I would have a radio show. Never did I think that I would have my own coaching business. Like I never thought about that. And yet, just in this year, that's what's happened. I've pushed myself to the limit. And Tinisha's done the same thing. And again, there's great results, great fruit that comes from that. So yeah, I want to encourage you all, push out of the comfort zone. get into the place of testing, because that's where you're going to grow the most. All right. So again, thank you all again for joining us. Yes, Charlene is on this morning. Tanya Joyner. We got a ton of sparkles on. Ton of people on Facebook Live this morning. I think Crystal's on, Crystal Bradley, Christina. So we got a ton of people on Facebook Live. If you're listening over the airwaves, you can join them as well in the studio. So today, as I mentioned, we're talking about pushing through the fires of life. Tanisha, I share often on the show that our scars tell our story. And we just listened to a song, Scars to Your Beautiful. A few years ago, you were in an accident that caused it was a literal fire that you went through. And caused some scarring on your body. Tell us a little bit about your story.
So it was September 10th of 2015. I had come home from work and I decided that, I was going to cook dinner.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big fried food fan.
Yeah.
But I was craving some French fries.
Yeah.
When you put them in the oven, they're soggy,
Yeah.
and I wasn't here for that. So I was going to try to fry some French fries. I'd never done it, but I'd seen it done before, so I'm like, okay, why not?
Right.
I went and I put the grease. I bought a brand new pot, brand new oil, got everything set up, turned it on.
And you done this before?
No, I hadn't, but I've seen it done, so I'm like,
Okay, right.
So I set everything up, but what I did was I put the lid over the grease.
Okay.
I went into my room, got comfortable, and I came back and had opened up the bag of French fries and I was getting ready to dump them in, and I took the lid off and it just exploded. I mean, and you always say, oh, I would run, I would just, no, you're shocked.
Right.
So I just stood there and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So grease, flames, everything?
Everywhere. And so I knew not to put water to it. I knew grease and water didn't mix. I knew that, but I did not know what to do to get this out. And at the time where I lived, my apartment was on the second floor, but you had to go downstairs to get out of the door.
Sure.
And that was the only way out, or the balcony.
Right.
And so I'm standing there, so instinct is grab the pot. So I grab it and I'm walking back and forth like, how can I get this out? How can I get this out? I sat it down in the sink and I was like, no, Tinisha, you can't use water. So then next thing, I just grabbed it and I ran down the steps and just it fell, but just fire everywhere. And so I finally get outside. I get it outside and I run back upstairs and I call 911. And I wish I could get that call because the only thing I remember is just saying, Jesus. Like, that's all I could think of to say. And the operator was like, I need you to calm down. I need you to tell me what's going on. And she's like, just get out of the house. So by the time I got out of the house, there's actually a fire station, like within walking distance. They were there, and they were asking me, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I just need y'all to get in the house and get the fire out. And so the one guy, he sent everybody else in, but he stood there with me and he shined the light. He was like, you're not okay. And he's like, we're gonna need the gurney. And I'm thinking, like, what in the world?
You didn't
because
know?
With the adrenaline, it was pumping. I didn't know. It wasn't until I looked down at my body and I just broke down. Like, oh my God. My mom lived in Greensboro, and by the time they got me to Duke, she was there, and so that made me feel a lot better. When I got to Duke, it was crazy. They had risen the gurney up so high, and there was like what felt like 1,000 people just standing there waiting for me. And we can't do anything for her. So I had to stay there another 2 hours, and they transported me to UNC's Burn Center.
Wow. And so that whole process, you had to get a skin graft, all that stuff, right? Oh my
gosh, I was there. When I got there, my first question was, how long am I going to be here? And the nurse, I remember, she tapped me on my shoulder. She's like, let's not worry about that. It's like, no, I'm a teacher, and my kids need me, so I need to know how long am I going to be here, because I'm thinking, I can just go home. And she was like, it'll be at least 8 weeks. And I was like, no, I can't stay here that long. But through that process, I had to have skin grafts. Even after being released from the hospital, I continued to have surgery. That's tough.
And again, that was just 3 years ago, and I distinctly remember that night as well. I was able to just, I was given the call and I rushed, and I wanted to make sure that all is well. Not that I could do much, but just to see that you were okay and coherent, and again, just to see, even in this moment, like, she was worrying about her kids, like, she was worrying about her students and getting back to school, and that just speaks about the character of who you are. And so that was a literal fire that you really actually went through. And there are fires in life that we go through, right? It could be a divorce, it could be a foreclosure, an unemployment, it could be whatever, and there are many fires that many of us go through. And I want to know, in that time, because here you were a girl in your 20s, that went through this, and what are some lessons that you learned through this experience, that you've kind of grown through?
Well, I had to learn to love me again, and I know that sounds crazy, but looking at the scars that I was left with, my confidence dropped, my self-esteem dropped. It was crazy. So I really honestly had to learn to love myself again. I had to not be afraid to show my skin, like summertime, and I wanted to wear long sleeves because I didn't want anybody to see. Even now, if I'm completely honest, I still have moments where I just want to break down and cry because I can be in the store, I can be anywhere, and you see people stare, and they'll stop and stare, and some will even ask, like, ew, what's that? And I'm like, do you have to say ew first? Right. And then working with kids, they point it out all the time, and they want to, kind of rub and touch it. Oh, so that's been an ongoing growth moment for me, to just remember that I'm beautiful, and I am not, my skin. I am not all these things that we've been conditioned to believe that we are. Some of the other things I had to work through was just believing in myself again, because at the time of the accident, I was getting my master's, and so I thought that I wasn't going to be able to finish on time with my cohort.
But you did.
I did.
Come on. Yeah.
I did. The whole accident really made me, it grew me in my faith, it grew me in my trust, in my relationship with God. It made me, number one, trust Him, like, really trust Him. Right. But it also made me not afraid to question my purpose and question why I had to go through things. And I realized that some of the things that I've gone through with this experience in particular were just setting me up for the future.
Yeah, that's powerful. Again, we talk about on this show so often how our scars tell our story, and even when people question, it shows that people really don't know your story. Like, people don't know what she's been through, and just like they don't know what I've been through, or anybody that's watching or listening, but you have physical scars that say, you know what, I'm victorious, I'm strong, like I can get through anything. I went through a fire, like I can get through anything.
And it took me a while to get to that point, to think that I could get through anything. But I'm here now.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's really just, I talk about, to not cover that up, but to embellish the scars, because they embellish your life. They show exactly how tough we really are, and again, you may not have physical scars, but we may have wounds or scars in our heart that we just can't get over, right? They like, oh, that person did me wrong, I can't get over that, whatever the case may be. I'm telling you, it's only building your character. It built hers. Her trust level, her faith in God, her purpose to know that she's being set up, for something even greater. And what, again, we'll talk about this in the next segment, but about the perseverance, pushing through, that she finished her graduate studies, and we'll get to that in a second. I don't want to jump through that, but you overcame these, and what were the ways that you overcame some of these struggles? Like, was it just self-talk? What was it?
It was a lot of self-talk. It was a lot of God talk.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I think, if I could go back and I would fix, would be to talk to someone, to go and get help.
Okay.
Because going through a traumatic experience like that, there are additional scars.
Sure.
this year is one of the first years that I've been able to really like stand at a stove again and even think about cooking. I remember the first time I was about to try to cook, I turned the stove on, and the type of stove that I have, it's a flat top, so they light up red first.
Sure.
I immediately started to shake and cry because I was like, so just talking to someone, getting help, there's this stigma that, you know, especially for Christians, growing up, you talked about it, and that's it.
Yeah.
But that would be the one thing that.
Let me ask you about that, the support system. We talk almost every week about having a support system, having someone to talk to, and you decided not to, you know. And tell us how that was difficult for you to not have somebody to talk to.
So a professional to talk to, because I had my mom, of course, and I had my friend. But it was very difficult because I'm thinking in my mind, a lot of the things that I was feeling, a lot of the things that I was thinking, having a professional could have made me feel a lot better about it. They knew what to say, that kind of thing, because I had to talk myself up and down and in and out of valleys, which was at one point I thought, I'm not gonna make that. I'm going crazy. Having nightmares, not wanting to be anywhere in a kitchen. Like I gained, a whole bunch of weight because I started eating out, and that did something to my self-esteem there too. Just because I was afraid to go back into the kitchen and cook. And just to provide, they would provide strategies on how to navigate that trauma. So that's powerful. So good. Y'all hear this? This is so good. I'm just sitting here just like, And I love just exactly what you left off by saying, you know, to get back into the kitchen again. You know, she learned life lessons in the kitchen, y'all. She may have some scars. She may have some internal things that she's going through. She even mentioned, you know, now she's getting through some things, but yet there's lessons in the kitchen. Even if the heat is a little hot, even if the pressure is a little too much, I'm telling you, there's lessons in the kitchen. There's concepts in the kitchen that you have to get, y'all. So life's fires are purposeful. We come out as pure gold, y'all. We come out as pure gold, and it refines us. It makes us better in a greater way. You're stronger in your faith and your trust in God. And how has that pushed you into something greater? Like we talked a little bit about, you're pursuing a doctorate. Like, this has not stopped your life. No.
Tell us.
No. That whole experience just let me know that I honestly can do anything. There's nothing that I can't do. There's nothing that I can't accomplish. Because, like I said, I powered through getting my master's during that time, and it was hard because, again, I was still having to have surgeries. I had to double up on courses. But I did it. And that in itself just let me know, Tinisha, you can do anything once you really put your mind to it. And this whole, I guess the biggest lesson that I've learned from this is that it's a mind thing.
Yes, it is.
And you really can do anything once you fix your mind to do it.
Yes. It's a mind thing, y'all. Get that mind right. Get the mind right. Go ahead and know that you are more than a conqueror. You can do all things through Christ. And again, I know that these are not the beliefs of the station, but these, you know, y'all already know. If you watch and listen to the Positivity Push, you know that that's my faith system, if nothing else. So, all right, listen, we're going to jump right back into this interview. This has been so good already, y'all. I love it. We're going to take a quick break after this next song, Titanium, You're Bulletproof, y'all, by David Guetta featuring Sia. We'll be right back with my guest, Tinisha Wharton. All right, y'all. Good morning. This is good stuff, y'all, and I can't believe this. It's flying by. So thank you guys for joining us this morning. I hope you guys are enjoying her story. It's so powerful to know that she has, that she's pushed through life's challenges and coming out again as pure gold. We want to encourage you this morning to do the same. Push through those challenges in life, the fires in life. And I'm telling you, on the other side of that thing, you're coming out as pure gold. Greater faith, greater trust, knowing that you are not the skin that you're in, or you're not that bad relationship. You're not that house that was foreclosed. You're not that job that you lost. You're not any of that. You are precious today. And I want you to know that you are precious. So this is just, it's been such a great show already. I love it. I love it. Good stuff, Tinisha. Good stuff. So I hope you guys are joining this. If you've not shared this broadcast, go ahead and share this. Thank you for being an example. Christina Harrison said, thank you for being an example.
Thank you.
Yes, there's lessons in the kitchen. Yes, y'all. So thank you guys again for joining us this morning. If you've not typed already, go ahead and type one thing that you pushed through this week. What's one thing you pushed through this week? We would love to highlight you this morning as well. One thing you pushed through. It could be a really boring meeting that you had at work. You really pushed through that.
Lots of those.
Yeah, lots of those, right. Not just one. It could be anything. So, but you got through it, right? You got through it. So you're a little bit stronger, stand up a little bit taller. So, so again, thank you guys for joining us. Appreciate you all. So when we, I'm going to skip this song just for time purposes. We're going to jump into this second segment, and then and we'll hit this real quick because I want to make sure we get everything in. The guy Rocco that has the show right after me, he has to go to a funeral or something, so there's going to be another lady that is covering for him, and she's kind of strict on time. I'm not worried about her though, but if she's here on time, she may not be on time. So yeah, y'all. So the new position. Sorry, I can't talk too much about it because it's a financial institution. It's like a small business, and if I say the name, then everybody like on the positivity push will think that I'm like an expert. I can't do that. So, but like I handle like these accounts and stuff. And I was like, God, this is not my life. It's kind of like I really don't want to do this. But God opened the door, and I see why. There's some reasons why. But like my boss is in St. Martin for the week. He's on a yacht. I handle multi-million-dollar accounts. Like that's exactly right. I was like, God, I see what you're doing. Like God told me this week, like I'm allowing you to experience the exceedingly abundantly. You know, like that's what, and just to be exposed, because I've never been around, like very limited. Oh, we'll talk in a second. And that was Titanium by David Guetta. You're listening to The Positivity Push live on 103.5 FM WCOM. We want to welcome all the listeners this morning, this bright and early morning, waking up and winning with us. And also the viewers. That's right, the viewers on Facebook Live. Go to facebook.com and you can join us on The Positivity Push, myself and my guests. We got many people on this morning. And I asked people on Facebook Live, I said, what's one thing you pushed through this week? Because we're talking about pushing through the fires of life and learning the lessons. And we got Sparkle King that is on this morning that says challenging, overwhelming moments. Challenging, overwhelming moments. And that's what you push through. Awesome. Carnithia Robbins says good morning. Thank you, Carnithia, for joining us this morning. So again, you're listening to The Positivity Push. This show is sponsored by a brand new book. It's going to be a bestseller. I'm going to go ahead and speak that. Your host, Antonio Santoro, released his very first book. It's called Catapult. It's a 40-day devotional and journal. Super excited about it. And go ahead and purchase this on Amazon. It's also on the website, thepositivitypush.com, and you can check that out. I'm super excited about it. It's going to really inspire you and really help you with your faith walk. It's going to be good stuff. So go check that out. Thank you for your support, all that stuff. We're talking about pushing through the fires of life. I've got an incredible guest. My sister and friend Tinisha Wharton is in the studio this morning. She's talked so well about her getting through a literal fire, literally a fire that she got through, and is again coming out with a greater faith, greater trust, and greater awareness of her purpose. And again, she's such a strong, powerful woman that I had to have her on. So one thing that we talked about earlier a little bit was perseverance and really pushing through and staying focused on not the current situation, but the next. Like, just continuing to persevere. Talk about what's important about persevering. What's important about that?
You can't stay stuck. To me, stuck meant death. Wow. If I'm gonna stay here, I might as well die.
Yeah.
So and I knew the promises that God had for me, and I know that He's not a man that He should lie.
That's right.
So I knew that there was better. I just had to get beyond that moment, and the only way to do it is to persevere. Like, life is not gonna be easy. There's always going to be a testing of your faith, and you just got to know that you've got to push through. It's like those things where you know what the end chapter is. You just got to get through these middle chapters.
That's it.
Because you already know what the end is, and that's one of the
know.
things that I keep in my head. Like, I know what the end is. I know what He said. I just got to get through it until I see it.
Yes, we already know the end of the story. And what I love is you said, get beyond the moment, and that's really what it is, y'all. It's a moment. This light momentary affliction, like it's just it's a moment that we push through. It may feel like 1,000 people in that hospital room. It may feel like forever and a day to get through the pain, literal pain of coming into a brand new skin. Like it may feel like forever, but it's just a moment, y'all. It's really just a moment. So I love that you said that. And as I mentioned, you're very successful in education. And what do you see in this upcoming generation that may result in fiery lessons like these? So we have this new generation coming up, and as I was sharing last night, we were talking. The millennials, we love a good filter. Like, we want to make sure we're on and popping at all times. Do you see the same type of things in the next generation? What do you see that they may be struggling with, and how can we help them?
Acceptance. That's the biggest thing. Wanting to fit in, and not really taking the time to get to know themselves and get to know who they are. And I mean, I know that's something that we all have struggled with.
Sure.
I really see that in this generation, kids that don't normally act out or acting out to fit in. And they're doing things, they're just not authentic. And I think that's going to be a big thing. And we part of it is our fault, because we place them in this bubble. We want them to do this. We want them to do that. And sometimes as teachers we'll say, why don't you be more like Johnny? Because Johnny does this, and that. So just embracing every child, embracing who they are, telling them that it is okay to be them. It's okay. You're not perfect, and it's okay. Right. I'm not perfect, and it's okay. And be willing to show your scars. That level of transparency, and I really think that's how we can help them. Yeah, because again, the acceptance. We love a good acceptance filter, making sure that we look the best that we can, and that's really powerful. The acceptance piece and getting to know themselves and love themselves. And again, that's something we all deal with. Yes.
But as someone that works with the next generation, I think that's. I wanted to just ask what trends you saw. So as we kind of wrap this up, I want to talk a little bit about a recent victory of this year. No, I'm super excited. We're raising the roof here. So not only have we talked about her going through the literal fires of life, right? Tinisha's went through that. But there's been some other things that have kind of been challenges that you've really conquered this year, and I'm super excited about that. So talk a little bit about your major victory this year.
So as I said before, from the accident, I gained a lot of weight. I don't even want to say how much, but I gained a lot of weight from just eating out.
Sure.
And that has an effect on you, right? It has an effect on your health. aside from that, last year was a really rough year mentally. Stress and just all types of things, and that plays a role in your health as well. And so I found out that I was borderline diabetic, and my numbers were like at a 6. And within 5 months, so that was maybe like June, July-ish, within 5 months I went from having like a 6 to a 10. And the highest on the scale is like a 14.
Wow.
It was crazy. I ended up being in the hospital on Thanksgiving Day of last year and having to stay the night. And after finding out what was going on, my blood sugar was almost at 500. And it was just crazy. And I almost lived with the diagnosis, like, you know what, whatever, it runs in my family, I'm gonna have it.
Gotcha.
Whatever.
Wow.
You know, I'm like, at that point, 2017 was so rough. At that point, I was just like, I don't want to push through anymore. Like, whatever, I can live with this. I see a lot of people living with it. And it wasn't until January that I was hospitalized again for having those same high numbers. And the doctor was like, if you don't get this under control, there won't be a next time.
Wow.
And so I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? Okay. So I went out and I researched and found a diabetes specialist. I met with her at least once a month. I completely changed my eating habits. Wow. I started working out like 5 times a week. Just determined, like, you've come through so much. Yes. You will not give up now. So that was my motivation. Just keep going. And so within 8 months, I went back and had my blood work done in October. My doctor was like, yeah, so you don't have diabetes.
Right. Don't have diabetes. Like, come on.
And I just immediately started crying and just thanking God, because I was almost ready to give up and die, because I'm like, I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of pushing. I'm tired of being the silent, strong one. Like, I just, no, I'm just gonna be, this is just gonna be it. And I'm relieved that I had the talk with the doctor at the hospital, because honestly, where I was in 2017, I probably would have stayed and just, you know, let life have its way. But I'm here today. Come on,
that's right, diabetes free, y'all.
60 pounds.
Come on, down 60 pounds. I hear that. That's what I'm talking about. And that, again, is such a powerful story, because, again, I really believe that some people are built for stuff like this. You know, like, this woman right here is built for this, and she's not going to throw in the towel. Right. It's just so powerful. So we've talked about strategies already throughout this whole show as to what we can, how we can live our best life. You know, whether it be health, whether it be going through, you know, life's trials and fiery, you know, lessons that we have to learn. What strategies can we just kind of wrap up with as to providing the listeners and viewers as really pushing through?
Don't stop.
Yeah.
Don't stop.
Yeah.
You can't stop. You know the end. You already know. Keep going. Yeah. It's okay to keep going. It's not always going to be easy. I would say get some friends, or at least one person that you can really count on to be there for you, and just keep going. Just keep pushing. One of my favorite things to say, it ain't over till it's good. That's it. And that's scripture. But it ain't over till it's good. So when it's good, you know that it's over. Right. So just keep going. That's so good. And then on I would like to just even add to that, because that right there is so good. But people are waiting for you. Yes. You know, she has kids in classrooms waiting for her. You know, family waiting for you. Friends waiting for you. There are people waiting for you to push through that moment of discomfort, that moment of slightly pity party depression, that moment, you know, whatever it is, it's a moment. So push through that. I know we're wrapping up here shortly, but I do this sometimes with my guests. I did not give you these questions, and this is just what I would like to do. They're fiery, rapid fire questions, right? And 1 or 2 words, quick. We're getting through it. What is your personal soul practice? 1 or 2 words. Personal belief. Love it. What do you know about prayer?
Yeah. What do you know about prayer?
It saved me.
It saved you. I love it. It saved you. Tinisha, what do you hold sacred?
My mind. My mind.
Come on, sacred mind. Your mind. I love that. What's the greatest truth that you embrace in your daily life? The greatest truth.
Just to be me.
Be you. Love it. What is the definition? What is your definition of God? I know. So many. Your definition. Healer. Beautiful. Beautiful. Where do you feel most at home or at peace?
Sounds crazy, but in my car.
In your car.
With the music off.
Music
That's where
off.
I spend time reflecting and talking to God.
Music off. So many people love that noise. But most at home in peace in your car. I love that. Couple more. What's a lesson that has taken you the longest to learn? The longest to learn.
That I control my mind. I can control my emotions. I determine whether or not I'm going to be happy. And that happiness, it is a choice. But the biggest, that I can control my emotions.
That's good. That's good. And then last question. Why are we all here?
Because we have a purpose.
We have a purpose. Yeah, that's beautiful. And that's exactly what we've talked about. We have pushed through the fiery lessons in life, the heat in the kitchen, the pressure, in order to get to our purpose. And that's what my guest has done. We're going to wrap up this show after this next song. One of my favorite songs by two of my favorite people, Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey from the Prince of Egypt soundtrack, When You Believe. We're going to tune right back in with my guest, Tinisha, and we will wrap up the Positivity Push. Good stuff. I don't really give those questions out too much because I don't want you to prepare for it.
Right.
You know? But
like, what is prayer? Woo.
I know,
What?
right?
Yeah.
Right. It works, right?
It works.
So good, so good. Yes, she is a strong lady. Yes, Nish,
Thank
so
you.
proud of you.
Thanks,
Awesome,
sis.
strong lady. Lifted praise hands, praise hands, praise hands. Awesome testimony, awesome testimony. Yeah. I'm telling you, this one right here is strong woman. So thank you guys again for joining us this morning. We're about to wrap up. We're not going to play this whole song because I do want to wrap up on time. But I want you guys to know that you can push through whatever you face. It's just a moment, y'all. And that's one thing that I'm taking away from this is whatever we're facing. It may not always feel good. It may not be the most pleasant experience, but I promise you there's purpose behind it. There's purpose behind it, y'all. And she has found greater purpose. And you talked a little bit about it, but what was the purpose? Like, what is your purpose? Because you said that you have a greater awareness. You're more you don't question your purpose. That's what you said.
Right.
So what is that? What's that look like for you?
And I can say this here, but I know that one of the spiritual gifts that I operate in is healing. And a lot of times, we think that has to come from laying on of hands and things like that, but just it can be as simple as these moments here, sharing your testimony. And so for me, I realized that my purpose in life is to go through things so that I can tell the goodness of God.
Yes.
It's much bigger than a platform or anything like that. And it could really be just in the classroom when I'm teaching with the kids. Speaking those positive words into them is healing them.
I tell you what, that's so true.
Even down to the families, when you work with the different families, sometimes those transparent moments. And I really believe that is my purpose. That is why I'm here. And so when you understand that, you look at trials a little bit differently.
Sure. Yeah, that's good. And that's so. Actually, that's really good. You look at trials differently. You frame it differently when you frame it with your purpose. Like, to know that this is just part of the purpose. It's just part of the recipe of purpose. and to know that she had to go through some things in order to bring forth healing to other people. It could be an encouraging word. Hey, you know what, kid? I really like your new haircut.
Yeah.
I like those new shoes. You know, that, I'm telling you, will brighten someone's day. So that's what your homework is until next week. Try to find a way to encourage somebody this week. Push the positivity and encourage somebody this coming week, all right? Because I'm telling you, people are waiting for you. People are waiting for you. And that's how we're going to push the positivity. Y'all game? Y'all ready for it? Y'all can just, how about this? Type the number 1 if you are down for the challenge. Just push the positivity and encourage somebody this week. If you're ready for it, be mindful of it, be intentional, and be aware of it, okay? Cool. We're going to wrap this up. I'm going to, and then we're going to end the show. And that was When You Believe by Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston. I'm telling you, I love that song.
Yes.
I love that song. I love it. I love it. So listen, you're listening to The Positivity Push live here on 103.5 FM WCOM. I'm telling you, this has been an incredible show with my guest, Tinisha Wharton. I am, again, so grateful for her. We've got some great nuggets. I want you guys to tune in on Facebook Live, watch the replay of this broadcast, because it's really going to inspire you and allow you to walk with purpose and know that this moment of discomfort or not pleasantness is only going to be for your purpose. It's so good. And one thing I challenged those people on Facebook was to encourage somebody. You know, we were talking about purpose even just during that song, and one of her one of the things that she's learned through all of this is to push through the pain and inspire someone, encourage someone this week with like she was just saying, you know, even in the classroom, encouraging one of her students or wherever, you know. And so that's your challenge this week. I want you guys to encourage somebody, give somebody an encouraging word, uplift somebody this week, because we all need it, and they're waiting for you. They're waiting to hear you shine that light and show forth that light that's within you. So go ahead and do that this week. Tanisha, I am super excited. I'm excited about your future.
Thank you.
And I'm so grateful you were on this one.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, y'all. That was this was such a good show. But listen, this is it, y'all. This flew by, and you're listening again to the Positivity Push live here in live on the radio. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. 103.5 FM WCOM. And I want to thank you guys again for joining us. It's been my pleasure to wake up with you winners this morning. I'm Antonio Santoro, and you can join us again on the Facebook page, The Positivity Push, and thepositivitypush.com. Up next is Music Hall with Becky Bluegrass from 9 to noon. And always remember, be positive. Alrighty. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you.
I love y'all.
Here comes Miss Becky. Good morning. Been a long time.
Man, it's
Been a long time. Let me get this stuff out of your way.
Okay.
All right, y'all. This is Becky. She's filling in for Rocco. Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning, Becky.
Good morning.
All right, let me log off here. Tanisha, thank you again for
you.
joining us. Appreciate you all. Listen, be positive the rest of this week and go encourage somebody. Thank you guys again for joining us. And if you've not shared this broadcast, go ahead and do that as well. All right? See you guys. Bye, y'all.